Hey guys, Danny here from Chronic Health, making of a high performance individual here in South Florida. Just to show you real quick how hard it's raining. I wanted to go for a walk. I didn't make it outside, but if you really look at outside and you look at it from a 30-foot view, right from the air, look how beautiful. Like all this rain, all this wind, stormy weather in the middle, well, kind of like mid-February, right? And I'm coming at you just to let you know once again that your wealth is your only health. I came to that conclusion a while ago. It's been for me. I've been always trying to be in shape, right? I follow every diet, every methodology. Very export. I like to work out, so any kind of sports, basketball, swimming, surfing, soccer, you call it. I've been trying skateboarding, volleyball, even chess, right? But and always try to make money, right? But I realized when I was 48, right, when I started to get a huge hole in the back of my head, and I started to get some gray hair, that if I would not really take care of myself or my health, and it's not about anti-aging. I don't think there's such a thing as anti-aging. What it is that most of us, right, are aging too fast. So I wanted to get back to the basics. How are we supposed to age? How are we supposed to get gracefully, right, until 100 years old? Plus, right? 110, I got a great, my grandmother lived until she was 103. My grandfather lived until 105, and that was just a couple of generations ago. So what I did was, for me, the challenge was, the first challenge is I met someone who was a vegan, right? A raw plant vegan. So, and proposed me a challenge of when was the last time, right, that I had a single day or a single meal that have not include any animal products. And being Argentinian, Peruvian, I never went, I don't think I went a single meal throughout my entire life without consuming some sort of animal product. Whether it was milk, cheese, eggs, kind of meat, or chicken, or whatever, lamb, or I don't know, elk, whatever. So the challenge was to go 1 month, 30 days. Right, that's the challenge. Go 30 days without any animal products. So I started this journey when I was 48. I just turned 53, right? So it's been 6 years, right? And when I was 48, it took me 14 months, 14 entire months to achieve 1 full month, 30 days without any animal product. That was a challenge. And I never looked back. When I was, once I achieved that within 14, because I was falling back, we want barbecue, there's cheese, there's yogurt, there's, by that time I already given up on milk. I think there was no purpose for me to milk, just but there's always been a little bit of ice cream, right? Pizza with cheese, or ham and cheese sandwich, or whatever. Once I went 30 days, now I am not, and I want to emphasize this, that I am not a guy who is promoting, right? I'm not trying to promote that diet. I am not. What I can tell you is within the last year, the last 12 months, I went raw. The hardest thing that I ever done in my life was going plant-based. But I was eating cooked stuff like rice and beans and lentils, and I would make soups. But I eradicated all kind of animal products in my diet, right? And that was a challenge. It was so hard. Now, why I preach on it is because I don't have that hole anymore. My hair grew back. right? I do have few, maybe not noticeable right now, but I do have few gray hairs, but I just literally not losing my hair anymore. I'm 50. I just turned 53, right? And although, for example, I damage my skin, like getting burned, like for example, going surfing for hours under the sun, I noticed that once I started turning into a raw plant based and mostly fruits, right, my skin got a lot better, right? And one of the things, and that's why I preach this diet, is because your senses get enhanced. My sense of smell, I don't wear glasses at all. I can see very well far close, so I don't have 20/20 vision. I have 100 and 100. And so my sense of smell, I can hear things from far away. I can smell things from the touching things, right? So that's what I preach. And it's hard to explain that to somebody who consumes animal products, because they just not gonna listen. They just think that animal product, but it's a different stage. And I'm not saying the animal product diet, carnivore, even carnivore, it's a bad diet. It's just a different stage until you try this challenge. And the challenge is very simple. The challenge is try to go about 30 days without any animal product. And it's why I did it, because it was the hardest thing when I try to go just a couple of days. And I by that time I was already doing fasting. I could do 24 hours, 48 hours fasting, right? But essentially, I always thought that I needed some kind of protein. So people ask me all the time about the protein and where you get your nutrition from. And you need to understand, right, that for me, and this is just what I follow right now, I listen to everybody out there, every expert, which I don't think there's any expert, right? But I listen to everybody, what do they have to say, what do they have to offer. But I go now by feeling. How do I feel? What my body, and I learn to listen to my body. My body will tell me how much water do I need, how much sleep do I need, right? And I go, my approach to health is just simple. I listen to my body is telling me. The nonsense that you gotta sleep 8 hours, 9 hours, that's nonsense. You don't need to sleep, right? Hear me out here, because people just always confuse this. What you need, what you really need, is to be fully rested. And the best way to get restfulness, right, is to sleep. So I sleep as many hours as I have to sleep to be fully rested. And right now, and that's another thing, with the diet that I do, which is raw plant-based, mostly fruits, and I only do one meal a day, right? One full meal a day that implies seeds, nuts, lots of avocados, lime, spices, right? But in the morning, around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I do fruits, right? Watery fruits, watermelon. It could be oranges, apples, whatever I have to eat. And that I process and I digest pretty quick, within an hour, 2 hours, all those, because I want to have my stomach empty. Understanding that everything, well, we are what we eat, and everything, and we're going to the cellular level. Whatever you consume goes to the cellular level, right? And it becomes you. So that's one thing. So the way I do this is just I do fruits in the morning. You can call it my first meal, but in reality, a full meal that I do is between 3, 4, 5. I'm not very strict with this, because depending on what I'm doing, I'm working, my body doesn't need needs, right? And then I complement, because that's another thing that I understand. Most people do not want to go fruitarian, vegetarian, or vegan, because we have the same problem, right, with the commercial vegetables, fruits that we buy in the supermarket. They're all pumped up, right? They have little nutrition in it, and just to compensate, you gotta eat a lot of apples, a lot of. So what I do is, since I live in the city, is I do a replacement meal. I will leave always a link in the description, right? Of what do I get superfoods, I get my vitamins, my minerals, my enzymes, right? Everything that I need, right? My aminos, I get it from a replacement meal that comes from a pure source, a premium source, right? And I have tried every single meal replacement out there, and this is the one that I set up for. I promote it. I promote what I consume, and having touched that, I want to talk about, because for males, right, and this is more for females, right, but for males that are always concerned about protein intake, you need protein intake. You don't need any protein intake. That's nonsense, right? Ask your body. Your body will tell you. This is a chemical factory. This is a pharmacy, right? You can produce absolutely anything you want as long as you give it, as long as you give your body the raw material that it needs to produce anything. So as far as protein, all I need is amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, right? And that's what I do. I give myself the amino acids that I need, and I get all the amino acids that I need from fructose, the glucose from the fruit, the ones that people tell you, oh, don't consume fruit because it's got too much sugar. The fructose is what produces the amino acids that, in a sense, makes the proteins. So that's what I'm going about. And at 53, I am in an amazing shape. I'm not too concerned about being in shape. I'm concerned about my health, and that translates in being in shape, right? I lost permanently 20 pounds. I'm 5'11", almost 6 feet tall. My weight is 165 pounds for my frame, right? But I used to be 185 pounds. Workout, protein shake, blah, blah, and constantly digesting, right? And I have settled for 165, 160, 165. Rib, I have a six pack. You know, I am pretty ripped. I don't know if you see it now, but yes, I have my six pack all the time. And when I'm on 15% body fat, I just fast. I get shredded quickly, right? So as far as being in shape and looking amazing, right? For what I've been given, right? The best that I can be for make my possibilities, my capabilities, right? I'm in my best shape ever, but concentrating on my health, right? The basics are always there. I don't know if these are the macros or not, because I'm not very technical. I'm not, I'm not an expert. My research is on my personal experience, right? My personal experience is what it translates. If I have to offer, if I want to help anybody out there, it's just guidance. I'm not gonna tell you how much protein you gotta eat. That's all for me. That's all nonsense. My approach is, I follow my body, right? What it tells me, and guidance. Number one, breathing, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna ask you, how are you breathing right now? Through your nose, deep. That's number one. That something that I always. It's called breath work. There's many ways to. Or many exercises you can do, but you gotta be conscious all the time. How do you breathe? And you pull from the back of your throat. Right, so I don't use the strip here because I don't need more air, right? I don't use my nose to breathe. I use the back of my throat with my tongue on the roof of my mouth, right? And I try to fill up my lungs as much as possibly can, and exhaling. And that's number one. My nutrition, right? My nutrition, my nourishment, right? It's gotta be balanced with the least amount of excrement, poop, inside my body. Most people don't realize that the intestines and the whole alimentary canal, the whole digestive system, let's put it that way, is probably 20 feet long. 20 feet long, which is about, 10, 12 meters long, right? and we are carrying around such amount of poop. It sounds nasty, but that's what we're doing. Eating all the time, digesting all the time, investing energy in digesting is what's killing us. It's why you're always tired. It's why you have to sleep 8 hours. That's why you have to sleep 9 hours. One of the things that I have helped me with that is just don't eat any meat. It takes too long for the body to process the meat. And whatever animal that you eat becomes you. That's why you act like a chicken. That's why you're always acting like a cow. Moo, yes. That's reality. It's just, I'm not promoting that, but I'm preaching because I've done it. I was on that side. I was a carnivore all my life. And once I break through the other sides, that nonsense, I'm muscular. You can look at my pictures. I always post my pictures. Lean, super strong, super light, super flexible. And these are things that I'm getting better at as I'm becoming fruitarian, right? Which is not my ultimate diet. It's just at the stage that I am right now, right? So just simple things. It's just you gotta be rested so that you sleep as many hours. Try to be nourished at the same time that to have as much as possible your stomach empty, right? Like I like to say, and I picked up this from Saguru out there, which is stomach full, millions of problems. High blood pressure, digestion, you're tired. Millions of problems with stomach full. Stomach is empty, you only have one problem, right? And this is working wonders for me. The idea here is to go back to our natural state of being where you actually age gracefully. No anti-aging, but the aging the way that we are supposed to age. And so it's breathing is key, number one, right? Rested, nutrition, exercises. If you don't use the body, you lose it. And that's very simple. Those are the keys of my methodology and what I'm concentrating. And with this, if there's anybody out there that I can guide, just follow me up. I'm always, from here on, I'm gonna be posting all the time. Why? Because I feel great. In the epidemic, I just listened to a podcast, and this is between Tucker Carlson was talking to an insider in the pharma industry, and that's also out there on YouTube. And I post that on my page. Was Saguru talking about nutrition, talking about what we eat, and this echoes insanely when the way I feel and the things that I'm preaching right now. We are in this epidemic. By the way, I am right here, one of those who refuse to take the jab. I have COVID twice, felt nothing. People say you're lucky. No, I'm immune, and I made myself immune, just taking care of my health. I have no issues. I recently did a blood work. Less than 3 months ago, I did my blood work because my family pushed me to. I don't eat animal products. I don't eat this. I don't take vitamins. I don't take this, any of them, and everything just came out perfect to the point that my doctor is asking me. Said, "I'm telling you, I don't eat anything. I do fruitarian, raw plant-based diet, exercise, and hopefully my doctor now he's gonna follow me what I'm doing, because comparing him to the way I look, he looks like crap. And that's another thing. If you have a doctor trying to tell you how you have to live your life, the question is always define what is a doctor. Think about it. Reading a few books, taking a few tests. Is that what a doctor is? And the other one, does your physician look the part? Right, and with that I'm going to leave you because it's already been 20 minutes, and I'm going to keep creating content because this is an epidemic that we can turn around so quickly. We just need guidance. Right, Jenny here from Chronic Health, the making of a high performance individual. And I'm saying that because to be a high performance individual, there's two things that you got to do. Number one, don't be a low performance individual. And second, don't be a medium or mediocre performance individual. You'll be out there. All right. See you next time. See ya.